Hello everyone, Zainero Gaming coming at y'all with another video, and in today's video we are going to do a unionarena market watch video. Now I could not quite get to figure out how to get tcgplayer to take off the pre-sale listings of Attack on Titan. So going through this we will see the Attack on Titan pre-sale prices listed, but don't worry about those. I'll try not to touch on them quite as much, and I am trying out a different webcam setup. This is my HD webcam. I can't tell if it looks that much better, to be completely honest, but going through this, I just want to touch on the filters. We keep it English, super rare, unionarena, the three filters we want to see here, and I just want to touch on all the ones that kind of, are going to make a difference showing up on here, right? So spoiler, surprise, Gawain being still the #1 super rare in the game in terms of price. It's just still such a solid deck. If anything, I would imagine, yeah, like you can see down here, it started to tick back up. And now that the new stuff is out, you can kind of build these decks a lot of different ways that you used to not be able to. I think now the 2 action point Lelouch C2 with a little Callan, new Callan 2 action point support, but this is the only mech you can kind of run in that form of the deck if you really wanted to do it, and I think that's why this price has kind of gone up a little bit over the last month. You can see like the pre-sale, 0 sold listings, a bunch sold for 20, but just in general the card still being about $20, which is fair. That is the market price, and I think a lot of people agree that it's still just one of the best cards in the game, and it is, the art is really kind of iconic at this moment. But Gawain being 20 bucks, market price is pretty cool. There's some low listings at 18, 19, shipping included for the 1930. A lot of sales for Gamers Imperium, getting that through. But I do think this deck is going to be really, really good. Just the normal, purple Geass deck. I do think that now there is a lot of different variants and ways that you can play purple code, being the Callan, being, the 2 action point deck like I was talking about, and just showing why the card is just so good, because every purple code deck is going to want to play 4 of them. But coming into second place is going to be Hellish Blizzard, surprisingly. This card is still kind of expensive, still really, really strong. You saw it dip pretty low a couple months ago, down to $7 and all the way back up to 16 for the market price, but low listings about $12 to $13, $14 before it shoots up quickly to 16. So I guess $16 market price for this super rare. It is really, really good because it goes into all the yellow One Punch Man Saitama decks as an engine, and then also in the Esper Sisters deck, it is one of the key combo pieces for you to be able to pop off. So seeing a low listing here at 13, but then quickly shooting up to 14, $16. Second place is Hellish Blizzard. Now, this is one that is no surprise to anyone if you've been listening to me talk about. Lancelot is, of course, shooting way back up. Was about a $7 card in the past recently, and now is just steadily going to the moon at $13.46 market price. The lowest listings, you need to pick these up now, y'all. Do not wait on this any longer. Pick this card up. $16 is the next lowest listing on here for the card. It is shooting up. A lot of sold listings at the $10 range, a couple at the 12, 13, 14, and it's just shooting up. At the moment, market price $13.50 just about for this card. Suzaku is going to be insanely strong. They got a couple of new cards that are going to help him really, show out. And, since the pre-sales are up here, this Suzaku helping out the deck a lot. You can give another Knights of the Round card, but it's just because it's a 3000 BP Suzaku, and it can give the other mech in the deck, which is a new 4-drop in the deck. You get a 4-cost raid for your Lancelot decks, which makes it so good. Now it has a 4, a 6, and an 8. This deck has all the big body mechs putting in work, and the new super rare Suzaku can give that particular mech another damage output on it, because he can only give it to the Royal Knights. But he is bringing up third place, which is really cool. Love to see green cards doing well. And then fourth place is going to be Asuna, the Sword Art Online deck. I think before the Attack on Titan decks are coming out, is still the premier aggro deck. I say it over and over again, and a lot of people don't believe that. Everyone has very strong opinions in Union Arena, but I do think that the Sword Art Online Asuna Kirito deck is the premier aggro deck, and you can see here for vocal listeners only, or audio listeners only, market price is $12.25. I do like to make sure I state these out loud. I know when I watch a lot of market watch videos and people just show the card and talk about it, don't actually voice out what the price of the card is. So if you're watching it just listening, you have to keep looking at the screen. But yeah, $12.25. But that is going to change because you see the lowest listings here, a $13 with $1.25. So a $14, $15 card for Asuna is what it's going to look like after the low listing sell here. Really crucial part in that you deck. This particular one you do have to run 4 of because it is the only raid Asuna that you have for the decks. Then coming up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know why it's so hard for me to always keep up with it. Nezuko bringing up 5th place. In the same vein as Asuna, the Nezuko is a 4 of in that aggro combo deck. So it seems like the ones that are, the ones that only, if you only have one raid and your essential is a 4 of in your deck, for the combo piece, it seems like that particular combo piece is more sought out than their actual, like the Kiritos are way cheaper than this, and the Tandros are way cheaper than Nezuko. The waifu tax probably has some part to do to it too, but you have 2 other rate options for both of those characters, whereas with the Nezuko and Asuna, you do not. But to voice it out, the Nezuko sits at a market price of $10. You do have some low listings at $8.75 with $1 shipping, so about $9.75, $10 for this card, and a lot of listings for around that range, so $9 to $11 for a market price of $10 for Nezuko is pretty solid. And I do like to see now that the Union Arena is getting in a healthy spot, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different super rares that are all sitting at about the $10 range or plus is really, really good for the game. Coming in the 6th place is going to be Asta. Now, this is a pretty aggro control build deck, kind of mid-range being at the 5 energy, but this deck is so good. Definitely the best deck from the Black Clover set, and it is really, really strong. Just to voice it out, $10 market price. We have some, a lot of listings that are around the $10 range, so that is about what the card is going for. Really cool. Love to see that Asta decks are still doing really good. And I do think that it is pretty clear that this is the best deck from that set, whereas a lot of other sets have maybe a couple decks that are in contention with it. I think that it is clear to see that the Red Black Bulls Asta deck is probably the most powerful one from that set, and I think it makes it stand out a little bit more. Not that that set is bad. I think there are a lot of cards that are really, really good in it, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th place for Asta coming up at $10 on our top 10 super rares. Now, bringing up 7th place is going to be my girl, Noelle Silva, which is interesting because we saw before that it was Mimosa that was the top card, but probably a lot of people just trying to buy up their Noelles now. Just being a waifu card as well. Market price at $9, but don't let that fool you because very quickly there are no listings for $9. This guy's listing for $9.50, but $5 shipping. So the market price on this card is a little wishy-washy. We had a lot of sold listings in the past month for $6 to $7. I think that this is a buyout, is what you could tell here. Over the last month, a lot of people buying out all these cards, a lot of sold listings, and then from that point on, once someone bought it out, trying to reset this market price, you can see that no one's bought it recently in the past couple of days. Outside of 2 sold listings for $9.54. I think it's just a seller trying to reset the market for them, and it's working, right? Other people are listing it for, $15. Someone here trying to mess it up, trying to bring out the $15 as well. But we will see where this card settles. But at the moment, based off of, what TCG player says the price point market price is for here, we go off the market price and most recent sales. So the market price is $9.54. Most recent sales $15. I would pick these up now for $9 or $10 if you can, because this card is really, really good. Noelle and Mario Leona are my 2 favorite decks from the set, and they are both pretty solid decks. Noelle being a little bit more solid if you like messing around with events, and she is really, really strong. I love Noelle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8th place is going to be Riza Hawkeye. Very interesting to see her here and not the Roy, but it makes sense. You have different outlets for Roy where you only have this one raid target for Riza. We can see here market price says 971 and the most recent sell is 960, and this card hasn't been out as long, so we can probably see a more stable environment for what it's selling for. Still, for a deck that is really cool, 7 total listings, all at about $9 to $14 going on here. I would pick these up now. The deck is very solid. It is a, big stay in the meta. One of the top 5 decks, I think most people would say. A lot of people are saying it's the best deck. Anyone says that, I would not argue with them as well. I do think that it is a top 5 deck. Speaking of these things, leave in the comments down below if you want to see me do a tier list video. I need to make one of those. It has been quite a while. But Riza bringing up 8th place with a solid market price value. And then not far behind her, right in 9th place, is Roy Mustang. I figure both of these would be pretty close to each other. Really cool to see the Roy being on here. It says my market price $9.34, most recent sale $10.95. But you can see very quickly on these listings here, $11.50 shipping included, and then it's $10.93, $10, $11.35, all with $1 to $2 shipping. So I think that the price on this is going up. It went a high. Now a lot of people sold in the 15s. A lot of people trying to drop off the cards. 42 so listen. You can see we have 866 total sales. That's how much people are trying to buy Roy, and it's still an expensive card with all of them being on the market on there. And it is one of the best decks in the game, and he is not going anywhere. Love to see Roy still having this value. And then this is kind of contentious. There is technically a tie for 10th place, so I will touch on both of them with the market price being $8.89 a piece. Ichigo and Geass. This is going to be the Ichigo from Volume 2, having a market price at $8.89. But you can see on here, this one's going to be a little skewed because the most recent sell was $11. But we have a couple people on here trying to fudge those numbers by putting a $4 listing up with $5 shipping, meaning it's a $9 card, right? This is very interesting for them to do that. That kind of messes up the price on the markets when people do this, but it is what it is for them. But maybe that makes them sell it Choky Milks. I see what you are doing there. They're just trying to get some value off the card. But this guy, and we see the Geass as well, bringing up 10th and 11th place, tied for 10th. Technically, with a market price of $6.51. Most recent sell, $8.63, with Geass being another key part in that particular deck for One Punch Man. Now, I will go through this and maybe bring up some honorable mentions. Xenon staying up close to it. Ichigo, the original 1 super rare 5-drop. Edward Elric staying pretty high. Xenon, the yellow goddess, staying up pretty high. Our boy Itadori Yuji staying up very high. Those all being up the best of the rest of the top 10. You can say top 16, 17 cards here. All of them kind of being in similar price ranges of these other cards, but going based off what the market price dictates. But that is the top 10 or so super rare cards in the set. It will be very curious to see where some of these Attack on Titan super rares kind of fall in place. If I was a betting person, I would say that the 8-drop Eren Yeager Attack on Titan super rare, the Irwing and Levi's will stay really high as well. Probably fighting for the top 10 cards, especially the Raid Levi's 6-drop. And then just all the cards for the Levi deck, and then the Aaron deck 8-drop will probably be pretty high too. But that is the Market Watch video. Let me know if you guys like the new camera, if I should switch back to the old one or the new mic. But please leave in the comments down below what you guys want to see next. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me today. Xander Rogue out. Peace.